we'll get started right now. And so the first thing, the big breaking news, if you haven't heard already, our wonderful, awesome Maya is engaged. She will be married in like 6 years from now, something like that. When are you getting married? June? Like June, way long engagement, but should be fun. It's only 8 months. In 8 months, she'll tell me that it was a way long engagement. But so congratulate her on your way out. Maya's awesome. She does so much for us. So we really appreciate her. Thank you, Maya, and congratulations. That's all I needed you for. You're welcome to stand here at the front if you want to, but that's all I needed you for.
The pie thing.
No, I needed you for this. So yeah, you're welcome to sit in the chair and we'll all watch you. Okay, we'll start as always and start with the needs and wants. If you've got any buyers needing something, sellers, any listings coming up or on the market that you want to introduce, feel free to do so. If you're online, just jump on whenever. And if you're going to talk in this room, you have to use this cool fake mic that does nothing in this room, but these guys online can hear better. Otherwise, they can't hear what you're saying. No listings, no buyers.
I
Sweet.
do.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I have a new listing in Spanish Fork.
I know who this is, but say who you are.
This is Shelly Jamison, sorry. It is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath Rambler, fully finished basement, and it's on a little over 1/3 of an acre and has an in-ground pool, a putting green, and a very large space for your toys. You could probably build another, workshop or whatever you want for all of your toys. So, and the unique thing about this property is the front of the house is on a street and the back of a house is on a street. So if you have like a pool party, people can park in the back, they can park in the front. There's plenty of room for everything. It's $949
Remind me where it is?
in Spanish Fork.
Spanish Fork. Okay. Imagine that from Shelly. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, go ahead.
I've
I'll get
got
you, Gloria.
It's 4 units, but they're 2 duplexes and the configuration, they're facing each other. It's in Spanish Fork and it's great location. It's on 161 South, 100 East. So it's a block and a half from Main Street, half a block from the park. One owner, they were built in 77. They're all brick. They've been really well maintained. They're on a 0.61 lot. Only thing bad about them at all is the rents are lower, way lower than they should be. But I've had a lot of activity on it and everybody seems to want them to take a contract with a big down. Surprise, surprise. And they haven't been willing to do that thus far. I'm not saying they might not change their mind, especially if there's like a 2-year call or something like that. But boy, it's a perfect property for somebody who needs a tax-free exchange or who has cash. But
Oh, so tell me, you said 2 duplexes. It's actually sold
4
as
units.
4 units together.
It's sold
You
as
can't
4
separate
units
them.
together. You cannot divide it. And the lot is almost big enough for another duplex, but not quite. But it's in this residential neighborhood, so it's not in a rental area. They're really, 2 of them are in really excellent condition. They're about 50 feet bigger than the square feet bigger than the other 2, but the other 2 aren't bad. They just have kind of messy renters. But the 2 of them are just immaculate. But I think I've had it 2 weeks and I'm surprised. I thought it would be gone by now.
Yeah, it's a good
But
investment
good one.
property for sure.
It's a great investment property, 4 units like that, and they're side by side, no up, down, no noise.
Okay.
And then I still have that place out in Goshen, which is actually getting some pretty good action, but 48 acres and almost 9,000 square feet, 9 bedrooms, 5 baths for 3.5 million. That's a lot of home and a lot of land. And Goshen really isn't that far. And the other thing, your buyers are going to panic and say, hey, there's no water in Goshen. Well, this property does have tons of water. So it's got tons of water. The water right in the well is excellent. And then it's got really good irrigation water. And you could just really do anything with it. It would be a great group home. It would be a great family compound because it would be possible really easily for 2 more houses on it. But if you build a road in, there could be more. There's not enough water for more houses. So there's a lot of possibilities there. Could be a wedding revenue. It's very, very pretty. Look at it online when you get a chance. It's got an orchard, a grape arbor, you know, a great barn with good stalls, pastures, good fencing. There's just really a lot there for the money.
Awesome. Thanks, Kay. Down to Gloria down here on the end.
How much is the house in Springfield?
In Goshen?
How much your duplexes, your fourplex?
And when do you get 4 units for under $1 million?
989 under $1 million. Love it.
I have a
And
six.
this is Gloria Mensah, by the way.
Gloria Mensah, a 6-bedroom in West Jordan. It's my property, so it's agent owned. And we just wanted to get rid of it for other investment opportunities. We're offering seller financing on it. We just listed it 2 days ago. So if you're interested, let me know. It's 6-bedroom with a completed basement, two rooms in the basement with a bathroom. And it's on a 0.11 acre lot. Single family. It's beautiful. We've maintained it really well. It's currently being rented for $3,000 and we listed it for $530. We really want to get rid of it. So it's a good property. We just have other investment opportunities. So
Awesome.
bring
Thanks,
your
Gloria.
buyers. I will give you a 3% concession.
Anybody else? And yes, you can say that.
West Jordan.
You can say that you're offering 3%. You just can't put it on the MLS, which is totally bizarre. Still, a year later.
I also have
And you
a
are who?
3%. My name is Brooke Gardner. I have a 3% BAC home in Provo, 100 South and about 945 West. My clients bought it about 3 or 4 years ago, outgrown it, and I've got them into a new home. They were going to rent this one, but they're thinking that they probably want to just get out of this one, put everything towards the new one. It's in good shape. It's got 2-bedroom up, 2-bedroom down, brand new roof, brand new water main, big, huge lot. And we're going to probably be in about the 410 range.
Good price point.
So, yep, good price point.
Love it. Anybody else? Anybody online? Okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. We will move on. As usual, we have our in-house partners here. So Encompass Lending and Verus Title are both here. And so we will start off with Jason. Where is Jason? There's Jason. Give us the good news.
Rates are still coming down.
That is good
So
news.
that is good news. And yeah, just to reach out to me if you have any clients that need to get pre-approval or second opinion, obviously, because sometimes the credits that we can give, being part of the family that towards their closing costs or their interest rate is pretty good. On average, I'm giving about $2,000 in credit from my side towards your buyer's closing costs. A minimum it would be 1,000, but on average I give a little bit more to make sure that they're taken care of. If you have any borrowers that need the ITIN program, we do have an investor that we just got set up with that can do it with 3.5% down, which is really good for that program because that program typically wants 10 to 20% down. And it would go through, I'd basically go through our Encompass lending officers in California that speak Spanish. So your clients would be able to feel comfortable with the product and what they have to offer and get into a product with us down. Obviously, it's not just for Spanish speaking, but it just seems the percentage of borrowers that use that program tend to be Spanish speaking. But that is available. We just got set up with them about a month ago. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Municipalities, any cities within Utah County that are offering premium loans to first responders or school teachers with high degree?
No. But that wouldn't be going through me as a lender. They'd have to go through the county directly because they'd have to apply with whether it's Utah Aram or Provo, or so they'd have to go directly to them. Once they're approved, then they have that approval to go to any lender they want.
Then Realtors and developers are often required to offer so many units in each subdivision for that, for those kind of loans.
Yeah.
If they want in construction, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Okay, Jessica's next up. Jessica with Verus Title.
All right. I'm Jessica of Verus Title. So nice to meet you guys. I know I've done a lot of business with a lot of you guys. So happy fall. It's getting freezing and the rainiest month we've ever had in October. So, which we've needed it. But, so I kind of like, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for using us. I know there's a lot of you guys, if you haven't, some of the things that we have, some of the things that we offer, I guess, is we have a few different offices. We have a St. George office. We also have a South Jordan. We have an office just one road over by like Timpanogos Regional. So we kind of can do a whole lot. We have a lot of different escrow officers that can help as well. Online closings, we do so many of those. It's super easy for the client. They basically just jump on, they verify their ID,
Where do
they
you guys put?
click and sign. There's a live notary. And we basically have a live notary, like a notary that's internal to us. So it makes it a little easier because they can help the client through it. But yeah, we have a lot of different things that we can offer you guys. We try to also do some fraud detection this week of some emails that got sent that we stopped from a lender and outside lender. So we love doing that and helping out people. But other than that, if you guys have any questions or want us to do a search or look up somebody online, see who's the owner, we're more than happy to do that for you. You know, we don't charge for that. We just love helping. So let us know.
Here then in Aram by the hospital?
So it's on 5th West and 800 North. So it's like one road over. So it's actually that way. I always say it's this way.
No,
but
it's that way.
Actually that way.
It's kind of up by Sonic. Do you know where C21 Everest used to be? Edge Homes used to have, I think they might even still have an office in there. I can't remember. Does Edge still have an office in there? A design center in the one on 8th North?
No.
So Edge used to have a design center in there. C21 used to have one. It's just to the east.
Right
It's
up
just to
this
the
way.
east of the hospital.
By Ire Dermatology as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so up in that area.
Yeah. So we're super
It's
close.
in the building on the back side.
Yeah, but we can do them here. I do lots of house closings, things like that. So it's still all up to what we like the client needs. So you just let us know if there's, people work 9 to 5 and sometimes we have to get someone after that, or e-signings, or doing it at their home, which is, we do a lot of those. So, yeah. So let us know.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we're going to go through some agent essentials. So get your notebooks out and take some notes. First up, add this phone number. If you haven't already, get your phone out and add that phone number. This is the number we text you from. This is where we get all of your communication on reminders. If you have a commission check in the office, if you have a problem, if you're past due. So maybe you don't want to add it, I don't know. But this is a super important one. So add that to your contacts. There's a lot of agents who say, hey, are we having a meeting? Or I get, hey, where's the link to the online meeting or whatever? It comes out, it's there, it's just in this number. So if you don't have it, sometimes it doesn't come through because it's through a mass texting service that we pay for. So just add that and hopefully that'll help. Along with that, and I'll send these slides out, but you can take a picture as well. Add these these email addresses to your list of whitelisted email addresses. Make sure they go to your inbox. These are all super important. Like there's not one up there that you should just ignore. There's something important that comes from each one of these, especially mine. Like don't block me. Like there's super important stuff that I send you guys. I try not to spam you, both Maya and I try really hard not to just spam you continually. But we do need to get information out to you sometimes, so make sure that you're getting those. Phyllis Ann, did you have a question or a comment?
You're gonna send these out.
Yeah, I'll send the slides out, so they'll be sent out along with the recording of this on Friday from the email address that you just saw there. So make sure that you've got my email addresses on there so that you can get all the communications that you need. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
The other?
My email addresses? No, they all go to the same place. I've got roughly 7 different email addresses that I use. They all come into my main inbox, no matter which one you send it to. Send it to my Fathom email address, either of those two that I had there, my personal address, any of the other addresses that I have, it doesn't matter. So I deal with them all the same. So I deal with roughly 450 emails a day, just so you know kind of what load I take on. And that's just brokerage stuff. That's not personal stuff. But due to my system, and I'm really good at it, I can get through those on a daily. And so I'm usually at inbox 0 every day at the end of the day. So if you ever want systems, come talk to me. I'll help you out with that.
Teach a class.
Yeah, I've taught 2 of them. They're both online in my YouTube channel. I've taught 2 classes on it, but I'm happy to sit down with you one-on-one or teach another class. Not a big deal. Upcoming classes, and we'll talk about a few of these, but we've got the taxes for realtors coming up this Friday, the private lunch. Jack's going to talk about that from Edge Homes. I'll be teaching a tech class on November 5th. I didn't change that second one, third one. If you have a topic that you want for that tech class, I'm open. So I'll teach Gmail or email or whatever you guys want me to teach. Fathom Realty orientation is going to be November. It's the second Tuesday in November. So that one's there. Sorry, that's the wrong information. November 12th is CE. That one's from pillar to post. They're going to be talking about problems with older homes and things that they see as an inspector. And then our team meeting is going to be bumped to the third Wednesday because of Thanksgiving. So we didn't want to have it right before Thanksgiving. I'm sure none of you would come. So we'll have it on November 19th, sorry. And then December 10th is going to be our Christmas party. Make sure and put that on. I believe we'll have it downstairs at UCAR again. So put that on. Always a fun one. It's a great time to get together. This is the one I just talked about. This is from the Jones CPA group. They're the CPA group that was over in our old office. And so they're going to come in and talk about taxes for you guys, things that you can do, strategies that you can use in setting up your LLCs or your S or C Corps in ways that will help you with your taxes. If you have any tax questions, they'll go through those with us as a group. And so it should be a really great time. Well, I don't know about great time. It'll be really great information. But it will be a tax class, so be ready for that. But it's one that you really should plan on attending. It will not be recorded. It won't be on Zoom. It will be live only. So if you want to come, you can see how many seats we've got. About 50 people can fit in here. So make sure and RSVP if you want to come to that one. Next, I'll let Jack talk about this one.
Hey. So a number of things. We have about 6 communities upcoming in the next 6 months or so, brand new locations. And we're going to go over those. We're going to have our, my boss, our Chief Sales and Marketing Officer, who will be there to just present and say thank you. How many of you here in this room have never done an Edge Homes transaction? Okay, we've got a couple handful. If you attend, Edge is very grateful to all of our realtor relationships. And so we want to provide an impetus, if you will, to get you guys in into your first Edge Homes transaction. So any agent that has not done an Edge transaction will receive a $5,000 credit towards a future, but you must attend to be able to get that credit. Then
that's $5,000 of extra commission, right?
No.
Dang it. I tried.
For your client. So, but it helps. It helps give them a big head start. So a couple of places where we have fantastic opportunities right now. How many people have sworn off Eagle Mountain City Center? Nobody. Okay, good. If you haven't been out there lately, they now have like 20 restaurants. They have, large grocery store. And we have out there 1/4 acre and larger lots where people can put a full Rambler plus a 3rd car garage plus an RV pad and still stay easily in the 500s. So that's like awesome. And the first phase of that community, of which we have about 15 lots left, has 0 HOA. Future phases, where we have about another 200 lots coming, will have a very, very small HOA that just covers a little pumping station in the corner. So if you want large lots, if you want less density. If people want the estate lots and they want to stay in the 500s, Eagle Mountain is fantastic. And they will ultimately improve the access out there. SR 73 will expand. They'll have bridges over. They just put a brand new Walmart out there. It's fantastic. So that is a great opportunity. And then right now we have massive incentives on build lots. So if you do a build, buyers get a 7% seller concession of the final purchase price. So if they buy 500,000, they put 150 grand in upgrades and have a $650,000 purchase price. We calculate that 7% concession on the final price. Does that make sense? So that's a fantastic opportunity. And then we've got incentives galore. We've got, and where do you find the properties that are incentivized? How do you guys normally do that?
Call the agent.
Okay, a lot of times you just call the agent, and what do they do?
They go, I don't know, I'll check and see.
Okay, or they send you a flyer. And let me just give you the input of how quickly things change. We had 11 homes at River Point in Lehigh that received a 4.99 plus a 7 or 9% seller concession plus a 25% or $25,000 discount. Okay. And agent sent out a flyer. Guess how quickly it took for those homes to sell? Day and a half. 9 homes gone. In my email, to Clint's point, in my email, the list is live all the time. Everything that I send you is always up to date all the time. If it shows in my emails, if it shows on my Realtor Partner Portal, it is available. And in my email, I automatically filter to the best incentives. Okay, I automatically filter to the product types. You can see that anytime by going in and looking at my emails. If you are not receiving my new and noteworthy email from Edge Homes, I promise you that if you invest in me and you work with me, I can make your business explode. So I'm here, I'm available, I'm always around, and reach out anytime. Come to this meeting. It will be well worth your time.
So Jack, tell me, if I go to this, are you going to sell me the whole time?
Sell you the whole time?
Is it going to be just a big sales meeting where you sell me on Edge Homes? Is that all it's going to be?
No, it's going to be educational, and then we're going to do a more in-depth dive of my my systems and how to find stuff. It's going to be, we're going to have fun. We're going to do like what we call what I call fishing scenarios. It's basically you come up, you try to stump me. If you stump me, you get movie tickets, okay? And we have a blast, and I'm trying to help the light bulb go off that I am doing things differently, and I'm trying to make it easy, your easy button, and I'm giving you a head start on the upcoming communities, things like Auburn Springs, single family in Lehigh, things like the second half of River Point right there in Lehigh across the way, with estate lots right next to the Jordan River and stuff like that. I'm trying to give you a head start so that you can find clients and know that the options that are there.
Awesome. Thanks, Jack.
Where is this luncheon?
It's at River Point. It's at the River Point Development. We'll be texting out. Watch the text number. We'll be texting out the actual physical address as to which one. We haven't decided if it's going to be in the model home or in the country, the
clubhouse.
The clubhouse.
Right.
So.
Okay, so easy to find. How many of you know where the Maverick is on 2100 North in Lehigh? Okay, most all. Okay, you hit that Maverick and you head south a mile and you'll see flags on the right.
There you go.
Okay.
Go find the flags. We'll text out an address. All right, you saw this as we were leading up to our meeting, but the pie event's going on. It will be the Tuesday before, so it'll be November 25th, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. It's the best time to hold it. That way they don't have to keep a pie forever, right before Thanksgiving. Super easy and super cheap. It's about $75. We set up this whole office. It's all decorated out. We have tables with goodies and hot chocolate. Maya does a fantastic job setting this all up. And then you just reach out to your clients and simply say, hey, thank you so much for your business. Would just love to give you a pie. This is not a sales call ever. Don't make a sales call. Don't call and see if they want to buy or sell. just call and give appreciation for who they are. They can be a client, an upcoming client, a friend, whoever you want to give a pie to, just an appreciation. And then the cost is roughly $75 plus your cost of pies. I always just buy Costco pies. We make stickers and put them over the top. It's super easy. You sit in the office as long as you want. The office will be open 8 to 6. But if you want to be here longer than that, or you only want to be here part of it, or whatever you want to do, the office hours for you are totally up to you. So if you just want to be here from 1 to 2 and you want to tell your clients I'm going to be there for an hour, come get your pie, you can do that, right? But this is a great one. There is not a year that goes by that I do this and I don't get a referral of some kind. Jessica was just telling me about a family that she was talking to. She asked them why they use their realtor, and they've bought 3 homes. Why they use that realtor? And she said the only reason they use them is because they get a free pie. That doesn't really compute for me, right? Yeah, it's her sister-in-law, right? That doesn't compute for me to be the only reason that you use them, but it is a great reason to stay top of mind with your clients. So if you want to be part of this, let us know. We've got 7 agents currently signed up, and so we've got space for about 5 or 6 more if you guys want to join. We probably do more than that if we need, but 5 or 6 is going to make it so we have tough time finding spaces for people to put pies.
About how many pies do you think?
It's totally up to you. So some agents will, it's based on your budget, right? Some agents will give out like 5 pies because they've got $30 to spend. Some will do 50 pies. So it's really up to you and the people that you feel like are important that they receive the gratitude in the pie.
But that's in addition to the $75.
That's an addition. The $75, we're going to do parlor donuts and hot chocolate, and then all the decorating and that kind of stuff. So that's what the $75 per agent is. The more agents we get, the lower that cost goes. And so if you get more agents to sign up, last year I think we had about 9 agents and it came out just under $75. So that's where we're at.
Hey, good.
Yep.
I'm gonna go grab lunch.
Okay.
I'll be back. Okay.
All good. Business planning season, guys. So typically I do a business planning session here in the office. I'm not going to do that this year. I'm not going to do it live. We just don't have enough participation for that. But Ninja Selling is what I base my business planning off of. Ninja Selling is going to have 3 events. So November 20th, December 17th, and January 8th. I will stream any of these live here in the office if anybody wants to come in. I'll do it through my paid account. We'll stream it. They do a great job in business planning. So I highly recommend that you do business planning of some type. Whether you come to one of these or you do your own, make sure that you actually treat your business like a business. No more flying by the seat of your pants. It just really is not beneficial to you. And then we now have agent orientation. If you're a new agent, an agent who wants to be a new agent at Fathom, or you just need a refresher on what Fathom has to offer, we offer 2 sessions now. They're on Zoom. And so you can jump on either of those. That's the second Tuesday and the second Thursday of the month. Sorry, second Friday of each month. And so if either of those 2 sessions work for you, you can get that information there. I get these questions all the freaking time, okay? Realms changed over. Everybody is asking, where's Realms? How do I check my CE? How many CEs do I have? How do I renew my license? How do I print my license? All of that kind of stuff. I must get at least one of these questions a day. And
Come on, Jeff,
the division,
I asked you once.
you only asked me once, but everybody else in the room asked me once as well. So just go to the division site now. They've actually made some great how-to videos right there at the top in an orange banner. You click on that, it'll go through a how-to and give you step-by-step instructions on how to do each of the things on the new system. And yes, the new system is absolutely 100% terrible. So it's the biggest step down I've ever seen.
And by the way, it will show like a link that you can click on that takes you to nowhere. And you have to actually click on your name to bring up your CE rather than clicking on the button that you would otherwise intuitively click.
Right.
Yes, to his point, terrible.
Yeah, so that's why you need to watch the videos if you've never done it before. And if you get stuck in there, because the way that it currently works is you'll go and you'll log in and it'll actually redirect you from where you need to be to a main dashboard. that doesn't have a link back to where you need to be. So if you get stuck, let me know. But this is the best thing that we can do right now, which is those how-to videos. All right, keys to success. This is one that I'm bringing back. We've talked about agents and their keys to success. And so I brought in 2 agents today to talk about what they do. And the first is Aram. Aram, if you'll come up and give us 2 or 3 minutes about what you do to be successful as an agent.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Thanks, Jessica. You got to use the fake mic so the people online can hear you.
Thanks. Does that actually work?
Yeah, so people online can hear you, and
Oh,
here
just
you
for the
can't.
people
Yeah.
online? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I was just thinking, what can I share? And so just looking back at my transactions and my closings, I noticed that most of my closings come from investors. Okay. I would say probably about a third of my closings are just people that I can pick up the phone and say, hey, I got a deal for you. You got to look at that. And so what I would suggest is you build you a buyer's list of investors that are ready to pull the trigger whenever there's a good deal, and you become their friends. So me personally, I have 8 to 10 guys that I'm very close to. We go to lunch together. We try. I try to socialize with them to do things outside work, like playing racquetball or going to lunch together, or I buy them concert tickets, things like that. Just become their friend, and then you become their go-to guy. So they will buy and they will send referrals too. And over the years, I also became a mentor to them in all things real estate. So whenever there is something hot happening in the market or anything like that, I will call them or they will call me. So that's number 1. Number 2, I would say become very, very knowledgeable about different loan products with different lenders, because there's a lot of loans out there that are very niche for different situations and different people. And I've helped people get finance. I'm not a loan officer, but I do like to be informed of different things. For example, most investment loans require 20% down. There's a local bank here that does 10% down, loan programs for investors. And very few people know about that if you're not like in the, real estate ambience. And there's other loans like there's different niche product loans that you want to become familiar with. Like there's some ITIN loans, some DCR loans, and different other things like that. So just become very knowledgeable so you can connect the dots whenever there's an opportunity. I have people say, oh, I couldn't get a loan. And, after talking to them, I'm like, oh, wait, I know somebody that can do it. There's some, bank statement loans and different things like that. So know your different loan officers and what they're really good at. And then, try to find your loan product there. You have to be very knowledgeable. And then the other thing, probably a third of my closings are with different builders in the valley, new construction. So become very knowledgeable about new construction going on with the different builders. So their promos, like Edge Homes right now, have a lot of really good promotions going on that you can find anywhere. They will pay for closing costs. And the best things they pay, for commission. So there's other builders too that have different other interest rates and things like that. So just become very knowledgeable in what's going on with builders. So I like to take a day or two, every couple of weeks and go visit different builders to know what's going on in the valley. So that way it comes naturally during conversation, who has what and who's offering what, and then and then just bring it up casually, during conversation, and that has helped a lot. So I would say those couple things.
Quick question before you sit down. How did you start building your investor list?
So I've been doing real estate for a long time, for like more than 20 years, and I always wanted to become an investor myself. So it just happened like gradually over the years. So first me becoming an investor and learning the process, and oh, that's another one. Be familiar with harmony lenders and private lenders in the area that can finance investment deals with cash too. I got a couple guys like that I became friends over the years too. But it just happened gradually over the years, and then trying to share what I knew with my circle and people around me, and they would then refer me to friends and things like that.
Awesome. Jack has a question.
One comment on that too, when you mentioned that you wanted to become an investor, I have agents that want to do that. And yeah, I'll give you, for instance, Aram talks about the 10% down. I think Cyprus does that. Mountain America has done that in the past. Some fantastic loan programs. And if you as a real estate agent want to do your own investment, you could, for instance, Edge will increase your BAC to say 8%, and then increase the purchase price, and then you can use your commission legally, all fine, through a loan. You can use that as down payment. So if you want to finance your own investment property and get in the market and take advantage of the investments, do it. Come see me.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Aram. And if you guys have questions for there's his phone number. I'm sure he'd be glad to sit down at lunch with you anytime. As long as you buy him lunch, he's happy to sit down with you. All right, next up, Gloria. Gloria, how long have you been a realtor?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. I love it.
Hi,
I'll give you this so you can control that.
Okay, so my name is Gloria. Before I became a real estate agent, I was an investor for about 8 years, but on the side, that's what I do passionately. I manage a nonprofit organization that helps empower immigrants and refugees. So that's what I've been doing for 15, 16 years. And then I did investment for 8 years. And then I decided to be a real estate agent because with my interaction with all the immigrants and refugees, all of them really want to own homes, but they don't know how to go about it. So I figured, oh, this is a way. I got licensed. And I kind of positioned myself as the expert on the subject. So I kind of use education as a tool to get people to buy real estate. And I just don't educate them on real estate. I educate them on how to build generational wealth, right? Because immigrants are big on leaving something for their kids. I'm sure everybody is, but I educate them on how 95% of Americans end up poor and what the wealthy are doing to fight financial ignorance. Because, we hear on the TV that the rich keep getting richer and the poor keeps getting poorer. So what's the difference? It's just ignorance, financial ignorance. So I tell them about the financial principle of successful people, where they want to make money, but never lose money. They want to put their money in a portfolio that would beat inflation. It would beat taxation. It would be easily accessible. It would compound in interest for them. And when they are sick, chronic or critical illness, that portfolio would help them be successful, right? And I kind of show them this and I tell them, hey, these are the accounts that the wealthy usually put their money in. Real estate, obviously, being there, and then life insurance. And immigrants have this mindset that life insurance is something that, when they die today, somebody takes their money. But I kind of help them understand that life insurance can be a tool that they can build generational wealth with real estate. So I kind of prepare them for what would, help them. I show them how their money can compound in interest if they put it in the right portfolio. Real estate being one of the portfolios, and also life insurance. So I kind of tell them no family has to be left behind in America. There's family A and there's family B, the wealthy and those that are not wealthy. And I just kind of encourage them. These are people that feel like they can never purchase a house. So almost 90% of the transactions I have are for first-time home buyers because they don't even know how to buy a house. What's the first step? Like for me, when I bought my first home in 2015, my husband was working, I wasn't, and he's like, no, we can't afford a house. And I told him, watch me. I did all the research, I did everything, and we bought a house with 0 down. And that was 8 years ago. And then 4 years later, we had equity of 450,000. We pulled it out, started buying other real estate properties. And I just used my story as a way to educate immigrants and refugees on how it's possible. You can do it. And then I just help change their mindsets and tell them, hey, there is the wealthy mindset and there is the employee mindset. You know, you can never get rich working for somebody, but you could if you have real estate and a life insurance policy. Index life insurance is what I emphasize. And then I tell them the problems we have in the community where a lot of people hear Dave Ramsey say, you know, buy term and invest the rest, but you end up not investing the rest, you spend it. And then some people are just too educated. Immigrants go to college and get doctorates and they just don't know financial education. So I kind of tell them, don't use your, you know, education to ruin your ability to understand financial education. And then procrastination, my plate is too full. So when I educate them on all these things, I tell them, this is what I have done to be successful. And then I just leave it to them. And I consistently do these workshops every month. So every month I do a workshop to educate immigrants and nonprofit and refugees. And they just come to me. You know, they text me, Gloria, I think I'm ready. I want to buy a house. I want to get a life insurance policy. And that's what I've been doing to be successful in my business, just being the expert on the subject and educating the community. I hear where people say, you know, real estate agents are everything, you know, from being a counselor to being a therapist. I take that role seriously. I am everything for my clients, and I just try to be the subject expert and just teach them on everything that I know from my personal experience and from researches and from my licenses. So, and then I just try to be consistent. I also use technology. My husband is here and he's also a technology expert. So he helps me with technology that kind of help with the follow-up, where I consistently email them or text them without me actually doing the work. It's all programmed with AI and things like that.
So how long have you been doing those workshops for?
Every month for a year now. I do that every month for a year.
Here at UConn.
No, I teach it online mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many
Is it-
people do you get in any given seminar?
Anywhere from 40 to 100 would attend the Zoom workshop. I've done it once here. Yes, I've done it once here, and we had about 20 people when we did it in person. It's hard for people because they work and everything, so we do it in the evening, so they don't have to deal with traffic. So mostly online, but I've done a few in person.
And is that through the board or is that just your own business?
Just me, just my
Really?
own business. Yeah.
And how many of the ones that attend your little webinar, like how many follow through?
I would say at least 30 to 40%, because some of them are just not ready. Their credit is horrible. They don't have credits. So I do anything from working with them. Like I've worked with some clients for over a year. I've been an agent for a year and a half. Some clients I've been working with since I became an agent, just to help them build their credit, what credit cards to, you know, get a better job. Some of them are working $20 an hour. Okay, you have 5 people in your house. Can all 5 of you combine? You know, so I do all those things. I literally take all the other things apart from the real estate to do it, to get them to where they're ready to buy a house. I enjoy doing it. It might be stressful for some agents, but I enjoy doing it.
Awesome.
So you're kind of cheating because you have a smart husband.
Yes, Brooke, if you could get a smart husband, you could cheat too. All right. So hopefully you guys got a couple of takeaways from talking with these two agents, some ideas on what you can do differently in your business. Hopefully you've actually made a note on what you're going to implement into your business. I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to try and do this for me every month as well. And this month, we're going to talk about a quick evening routine. So something you can do within 15 minutes every night to improve your business. And that quick routine is, first, finalize your urgent communication. So go through and check for any urgent client texts, any emails that you missed, anything that you need to follow up on right away. If it's not urgent, it can wait till tomorrow. Just leave it. Don't do it that night. But if it's urgent, needs to be done, sometimes I'll scroll through and I'll miss texts or emails that I got from you guys that I missed during the day. You'll get a text back from me late at night when I'm doing this, saying, hey, I totally missed you, right? So this is a good way to do that. Go through and check for those. Number 2, write down your top 3 must-dos for tomorrow. I don't know how many times you've laid in bed going, oh crap, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or why didn't I do this, right? And we lay in bed and fret about it all night. If you'll take just a few minutes and write down those top 3 things that you need to do tomorrow, you'll sleep better and you'll get more done. Number 3, write down 2 to 3 people that come to mind. Just stop for a minute and say, who are 2 or 3 people that I should contact in some way? Call, text, email, personal note, whatever that is. Doesn't have to be a client. It could be a friend or a family member. It can be whoever you want. But there should be 2 or 3 people every day that come to mind that you should put on a list for tomorrow to contact. And lastly, write down 1 to 3 things that you're grateful for that day. So whatever it was that you went through the day, think about it. What is it that you really appreciated about that day, or something that happened that day, or whatever? If you'll do these 4 things, it should take you less than 15 minutes a day, and I promise it'll increase your business and improve the way that your life is. All right, you can hear that I'm losing my voice, and so I wish that Adam was back and could take a minute, but he's not. But Adam with Silverback is the one that's sponsoring today, so once he gets back with lunch, I'll give him a few minutes. So let's jump straight. Yeah, go ahead.
Can people there hear me?
No, just me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I like you. Hey,
We
Jeff,
can all hear
it's
you.
Lisa Flutie.
Yeah.
So guys, the accountant that's coming on Friday is my accountant, and I love this guy. So he is so knowledgeable on cost segregation. He is so knowledgeable on your business. But one thing about him is your business has to really be a business. Like, he makes me do quarterly meetings with my board of directors, and that's myself, my husband, and my 2 sons. And sometimes we do these meetings in New York City, so we get to write off like our hotel, our flight, our rental car, and 50% of our meals. Sometimes we do these meetings like in Arizona at my nephew's wedding next month. But we always have like our business plan, and we have our agenda, and we have our board of directors. And I'm telling you, he is amazing. So I hope you come. And if you don't really think your accountant's doing anything for you, they probably aren't. And you should use Clyde. Okay, there. How was that for a commercial?
That was awesome. I wish you were here when we actually talked about it. That would have been nice, Lisa.
I saw it, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
All good. All right, so let's dive into stats for a minute and help you guys get a feel for where we're at with the market. First up, our September 2025 top producers. So these are the agents that killed it in September. For volume and transactions, Tim Reynolds. For volume and transactions, number 2, Perry Mills. Number 3, Todd Telford on volume. Shelly Jameson on transactions. Number 4, Kay Jones in volume. Number 4 in transactions was Donna Johnson. And then Shalana Louder, number 5, and 7 agents tied for 5th for transactions. Aram, Brooke Gardner, Donna Johnson. Oh, she was already there in 4. Holly Gill, Jared Rowley, Miley Roberts, and Phil Lafine. So great job to all these agents. They're doing a fantastic job. If you want to know anything about their business, I'm sure they would share it with you. And an updated 2025 top producers year to date. Tim Reynolds, Todd, Shelly, Phil, Lisa, and Perry. So some pretty familiar names. They've been up there for a while this year, but there's still room for each of you to actually make it on this list if you want, because Lisa's slacking off. So make sure that you kick her off the bottom of that board.
No, that has motivated me.
All right, some quick office stats. So information just on our Orem office. So far this year, we've sold $283 million in volume. That's up 13% from 2024 year to date. We've sold 518 homes so far. That's up 11%. We've had total commissions paid of 6.4 million. That's up 10%. And agent commissions, that's how much goes to you guys, is $5.6 million has been paid out to agents. That's up 8% over 2024. So overall, our office is doing fantastic, up in every regard. Let's talk about new construction. Luckily, Jack left, so I don't have to hear him tell me about this again. New construction, new home sales are up 20.5% month over month in August. So that's a huge jump in August to see new construction jump. New home sales were up 15.4% over August 2024. And the housing starts, so the number of houses that actually started, they weakened by 8.5%. So we saw those go down, the number of homes that are starting go down by 8.5% in the month of August. 39% of builders are offering price cuts, an average of a 5% price cut on their houses. 65%, this is nationwide, 65% of builders are offering incentives, typically lower rates, closing costs, or higher agent commissions. And in Utah, I pulled this just for September. This is just, they would only let me export 900 transactions, but it's just September. 60% of new construction closings had concessions ranging from $350 all the way up to $50,000 in concessions. And that's on new construction homes. There was one outlier new construction home that had a $539,000 concession with a purchase price of $539,000. I don't know if they gave the house away. I reported it. I'm sure it'll get fixed. But so your key takeaway on this is that almost every buyer that you have in every price point that they're working would benefit from talking with new construction. There's a lot of great deals in new construction right now. So take your time, like Aram mentioned. Know these builders, know what they offer, and make sure that you know what they offer so that you can help them. All right, Adam's back, so I'm going to jump back to Adam's slide.
We're ready on time, at least we know they're fresh.
There you go. So this is Adam with Silverback. We'll give him just a couple minutes.
Do you have an HDMI to pop in?
Oh, you're gonna make it rough for me, aren't you?
Yeah, I can just hold it up. It just.
Oh, I can pop it in. Online, you won't be able to see this, but I'll pop it in for these guys.
I want to say a shout out to the Queen of Spanish Fork. Good to know you're alive and well. Haven't seen her for a little while. Okay. So because we've been here, multiple times, you guys know most of about the product. I just wanted to point out some of the new stuff. So with the changes to the website, we have on here a coverage checker. And this is in an effort to have as much transparency as possible, answer questions for you and for your buyers. And if they have questions about it, they can come here and check all three different plans. We'll go to the highest plan, the King Kong. And here you see you've got options you can look into. For example, we'll look at the sprinkler system. Okay. And then there are some other items in there you can look at, but just as an overview, this is what will pop up. Okay. So it tells you your payout totals on the limits, tells you your covered items, excluded items. We don't want to overpromise and underdeliver to you or to your clients. And so we want you to know what you can be able to say comfortably and know that it's covered, it's not covered. And we find that the more that we do that, they have a better experience, right? We don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. We want the opposite, right? We want them to really have a good experience with us. So when you have a moment, you can play around with this and see the different options for it. This gives a little description. Sometimes you know, you have to kind of say, I don't know what no fault coverage is, right? And no fault coverage, we had an example of that a couple of months ago where toilets had been installed improperly, that 2 wax rings. So it was leaking, but it wasn't leaking because of the toilet. It was leaking because of install. So whereas we cover the toilet, we don't cover the install. So something like no fault coverage is going to help them with a little help toward repairing that where it wasn't the homeowner's fault. We don't cover it, but we still want to help them. So there's little things like that. It's a great tool, this coverage checker, for you to use. So
You got a house that has an ADU in it.
mm-hmm.
This is what I'm closing on one today, and you helped me, Jason helped me figure out where we
Oh,
needed to be.
Right.
And somebody had to contribute $5 to make it work.
Okay, a little tip. Yeah, so with an ADU,
905.
905. Okay. Dude, I hope he gave that as a tip.
He said he did. But I don't know.
So yeah, so things like that, and you'll see in our brochures that are here, there's add-ons like the mother-in-law apartment. If you're up in Park City or you're somewhere where they've got a lot of radiant heating, we're going to suggest they add the boiler system coverage. So you knowing your client's home the best and you can steer them the best way, that's why we want to know what's going on.
Can you offer to people to get investors, like we were saying, like they bought the property a few years ago and they can invest or can get a warranty, like if it's like a fourplex or
Do they already own it, or it's still a real estate transaction? Okay, so if they already own it, we do sell them. The price goes up. Those prices go up by $100. These are the real estate transaction prices. Yes, and so on the back, even with like multifamily homes, there's the duplex, triplex, and fourplex options as well. Yep, good question. And then finally, wanted to remind you, in case you didn't know, we do cover all of Utah. When I say all of it, I mean all of it. I went out to Vernal yesterday. So it's my first time out there. Great drive. But yeah, we're covering rural areas. We want you, I know I see signs for Fathom everywhere I drive. So I know you don't just stay here in Orem, right? You're everywhere. You go where the business is. And so same for us. So we want to support your clients all over the state. Okay. Any other questions?
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Adam. And he's the one that brought Jersey mics, and so you'll probably want to give him a huge thank you at the end of the day. Make sure you talk to Adam. Maybe. Well, there we go. Okay. All right. Top producers, all the fun stuff, new construction. Okay, let's talk mortgage. And Jason can tell me where I'm wrong if I'm wrong. This is from RTT News. Loan applications overall for the nation fell for the 3rd straight week. So we're seeing less applications. Are you seeing that industry wide? Okay. Yeah. So we're seeing less purchase applications actually coming in. Purchase applications are down even though rates are down. So rates have started to come down again. Well, I'll show you that graph in just a minute. And applications are still about 20% higher than last October. Last October was brutal. So I don't know if you remember, but rates were going up and it was pretty hard. And then we've got lots of buyers on the sidelines still waiting for those lower rates. And so your takeaway on this one is that sellers should be aware of a slowing market. So if you've got listings, make sure your sellers are aware of this slowing market and reluctant buyers. The buyer's market is gaining momentum. So be aware, we are in my opinion, we're solidly inside of a buyer's market, right? You're going to hear others that don't believe that, but I truly believe we're in a buyer's market.
The last 2 offers I've made have had competing offers.
Nice.
Multiple.
That's great. There are still a few properties out there. Really good properties will always still sell, right? This is from Redfin. Share of mortgages with rates above 6% climbs to a 10-year high. So those are the higher mortgage rates, right? The loans over 6%. And so we've got just over 50% of homeowners still have rates below 4%. That's down from 66% of homeowners who had those lower rates in 2022. We are seeing that lock-in effect where sellers couldn't move because they were locked in due to affordability easing a little bit. Some of that is because rates are easing. Some of that is because sellers just can't wait. They've had 12 kids now and their closet isn't big enough. So they've got to do something, and so they move, right? But we do see that buyers are still very price sensitive. So if you're pricing your listings, you need to be aware that that pricing sensitivity is still there. Inventory will continue to climb until rates go down below 6. If we see rates go below 6, I think at least for the short term, we'll probably see a pretty big rush from buyers to finally get back into the market. So watch for that. No, we're not that far away, right? So here's the average mortgage rates. This is average. This is not Jason's quoted rate. This is the average. This comes from bank rate. This was yesterday's rate. A 30-year fixed was 6.22. And you can see an FHA was below 6, 5.98. In some cases, an FHA may make more sense for your buyers than a conventional in the right case, right? Only 1 second though. Just kidding. Okay. So your takeaway here, conventional is easing downward. We are seeing a downward trend on this, and FHA is below 6%. Here's your mortgage rate graph since 2023. You can see that we are significantly lower. The only time that we've seen interest rates lower than that was last September. We saw that cut. We saw rates come down right before that cut, and then the Fed cut rates and interest rates went up. So we saw kind of that same thing back here in September. This was leading down to that September cut. And then once it cut, it went back up. But then we've seen that ease a little bit again, right? Because remember, the Fed is not what controls the mortgage rates. The bond is what controls the mortgage rates. So even though the Fed cuts, that doesn't necessarily have apples to apples with what we're doing in the mortgage rate part of it. So we're near the lowest rates in 2 years, and there isn't a mad rush from buyers, right? Even with the lowest rates that we've seen in almost 2 years, we're not seeing a massive push from buyers. Buyers are still waiting for that 5% number. I think that's when in their minds that it will make sense, even though there's not a ton of difference.
Where the rates are right now, if you have buyers that literally their golden spot is 5.8, 5.7, whatever, is they want to hear the 5. The sellers, as we all know, are willing to give concessions right now. You can get on a conventional loan, you can get 5.75 with a 2% buy down. You're already there, and if they're FHA, you can get it close to 5.5 to 5.25 on FHA. So there's ways that we can look at it to get there, and the Fed is supposed to cut rates 2 more times this year. And what happens, like he just said, the lenders built in, and you see rates go down right before the announcement. So if you have people and they're going on contract locked before the Fed has their announcement, because when they have their press conference, it will adjust accordingly a little bit up, and you're going to get the best locked rate the day before the Fed actually does it, because it will adjust, and then like you see on the graph there, it will come back down, and then we'll have December's rate cut. But we are right there, and if you have buyers sitting on the sideline, it's great to reach back out to them Because as soon as it goes there, everyone's on the sideline and now you're getting more than two offers. And, you know, prices will start to adjust accordingly too.
Yeah. So buy on the rumors, sell on the news. That's always the case, right? So always be aware of that. And this is true that buyers are waiting. Some buyers are waiting simply because they've heard that the Fed's going to cut 2 more times. And so they're like, great, interest rates are going to go down to 4%, right? Some of that is you educating buyers what these 2 cuts actually mean if they actually ever materialize. We've heard from the Fed all kinds of times that they were going to cut rates and they never did, okay? The next report from Redfin reported that summer 2025 was the strongest buyer's market on record, dating back over 10 years. It's estimated that 35% more sellers than buyers in August. That's a ton more sellers than we had for buyers. The most lopsided market in 10 years. The number of home buyers in the market fell to approximately 1.4 million. The lowest buyers markets or the lowest buyers in the market since the 2020 lockdown period. So the lowest number of buyers in over 5 years. Buyers do have a substantially greater negotiating power though because of this. And buyers and sellers, both your buyers and your sellers need to be aware. I'm still shocked by the number of times that I see a full price offer without concessions come through. Guys, if you're representing a buyer, you should never do that in this market. There is always something to be had. There's always something that could be negotiated on the table. And that's part of your job, is to make sure that that happens. Let's talk about.
So what do you suggest to tell your sellers? Is just like, okay, so you should raise your price or put your price for them to, because they're gonna come back with asking you for closing costs. So you should raise your price right away, or should we just like put the price lower enough so we can create some competition and then we can get that price, but everybody's gonna ask anyways for closing costs. So what's better?
I'll leave that to you guys. I'll answer in a minute, but what do you guys think? How should we be pricing homes?
Sellers were doing by 2020. I noticed those who overpriced their home, they would sit forever before the few homes. So that's my experience.
So don't overprice because they sit. What else?
So you don't overprice, you just put out the right price and then just wait?
Yeah.
And then you tell them, oh, sorry, we don't want your offer, we want you to hire or put your closing costs on top.
Buyer's market, so, you know, it's the unfortunate situation for your sellers, but overpricing time is doing any good from my experience.
You negotiate back.
Well, Sam?
I think you need to lay the options on the table, and then you need to let your client make the final decision as to what they want to do. Whether you feel it's right or wrong, as you have taught me so many times, your client is the one that has the final say.
You guys probably get sick and tired of hearing that from me. Like, what should I do? And I say, I don't know. What does your client want to do? Or like, what does your buyer want to do? What does your seller want to do? Right? And you say, well, I'm not sure. And I'm like, well, go ask them and do what they tell you to do. Right? Our job is to educate. Our most important job as a listing agent is what?
Well, I will say definitely don't overprice, sure, but also you don't want to underprice or, you know, without giving any room or buffer, because it's really, really hard to, you know, build the numbers up, you know, for commissions, closing costs and all that, when you're already low, because in this market, buyers see a low price and they want lower, you know, most concessions. So I would just say, try to be fair. I always try to be kind of like, you know, very competitive with comps. It's a little longer, but make sure there's enough room in there, pay for everyone.
Yeah, so the strategy from COVID of price under and create a firestorm, that's not working in this market, right? You're not going to do that. You may bump it up a little, but you're not still going to ask for concessions and everything else. And buyers are very much in negotiating mood right now. So be very ready for that. But what is our main job as a listing agent?
Sell their house.
Sell their house.
give them as much information as you can, inform them of the market and give them options. But help them understand that if they're a buyer or a seller, they need more information and to inform them on what the market's doing.
Right. So give them information and get their house sold, right? That's our main job, get the house sold. And so when we're pricing, we should be pricing to get the house sold. Where do we need to price, right? And then have the conversation with your seller. This is where I believe it's going to sell. Be ready for negotiations with that. And if we do have 10,000 in concession, this is what your net sheet looks like with that, so that they're aware of it. Okay. But you should always price competitively to get the house sold. Now, obviously, I've got a great example with my listing in Highland. The seller controls the pricing, right? No matter how much you tell them where it should be, the seller is going to make the decision, and you're just going to have to do your best with it.
Also having a very open communication and honest with them. They need to know the truth. They need to know the facts, and they need to know that you care.
Yeah, love that. Okay, let's talk about homes sold above list price. So the number of homes being sold above list price is on a steady decline down. We're at 19% right now. And if we look, that's lower than 2023 and 2024 in October of those same years. And so the number of homes being sold over list price is declining. That shows a weakening market. Again, we're seeing a weakening market in this. Stats for all of Utah. So this is from UAR. These are all the stats for all of Utah. This includes here and St. George and Iron County. So pulls all those MLSs together. Our number of pending sales in September was down 10.8%. So the number of houses that went under contract was down 10.8. We did have 4.8% more closings year over year. And the number of days on market went up by 10 days. So that's almost 20%. And our inventory went up by 16%. So number of houses on the market from September 2024 to September 2025, we went up 16%. Okay. Takeaways. October, with our number of pendings being down, October is probably going to be a slower number of closings for the year, but our greater inventory is probably cause for more sales year over year. So we will see greater sales because we have greater number of homes on the market. This is the historical supply number of months of inventory on the market. Once you get over 3 months, so anywhere between 4 and 6 months becomes a buyer's market. We're now just over 4 months of inventory. And the last time that we were there was back in 2015. So we've got the most inventory on the market since 2015. It's a lot of inventory. Now, obviously, we're not as high as we were in the crash, right? Right before the crash, 2007, 2008, in that range. We had a ton of inventory there, but we are significantly higher than we have been in a lot of years, right? This is the median sales price for all of Utah. Our median sales price right now is $510,000. You can see the major crash that everybody was predicting in 2022, 23. This right here is your major crash. So that's the crash of the market. Despite the number of homes that we have on the market, right, and all of the inventory coming and less demand and more of a buyer's market, prices are increasing. If anybody here can tell me why, I would love to know, because I don't understand it. This is absolutely beyond what economics will ever teach you. Sellers are refusing to take less, Kathy.
But with people with low interest rates, why are they selling? Like, because
They have to.
They're selling and then maybe downsizing, but having a higher interest rate. I don't know. Like, I would just think that there would be no houses on the market because everyone refinanced.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got all the main reasons: death, divorce, new job, like all those kind of things that you'll always see. And then you do see a number of people who just get sick of living in their house. They just want to move, right? And so you've got all of these reasons. There's varied reasons for it being. Ron, you're saying the only reason that we're seeing price increases is because sellers refuse to lower their prices. Okay, it's a reason for sure. Why, anybody else? I mean, I would love to know. If you guys know why we're going up in price.
Just in supply and demand, they will always sell for what people will pay.
Okay,
And so people just want a house, so they're gonna pay whatever they can get the house for.
okay. So prices are remaining high, they're not moving, and so buyers are deciding, well, if I want to buy a house, I've got to buy it at this price. Sellers are refusing to move in price.
Probably also due to incentives and builders. Builders like to bring the price down, but will incentivize.
Yeah, they need their comps, right?
Well, I don't wonder too, if we're having people move in from other states that have the cash to pay over. I mean, I live in American Fork and somebody just paid like 675,000 for a house that was built in like 1980s. And I was like, okay, in my neighborhood, I don't think so, but they moved from Washington. They had plenty of cash. It was a remodel. They had to get settled. He had a job. They had kids that were starting school and they were like, okay. And so they paid over asking.
I don't have the slide in here, but one of the stats that I just got from UCAR, Utah County, the average sales price last month was $712,000. The average sales price. The median brought it down to about 650 or something, right? But who would have, like 5 years ago, if I would have told you the average sales price of a house here in Utah County was $700,000, you would not have believed me. There's no way. Kay, did you have a comment?
Exactly what I did, what you know.
Yeah.
People.
I mean, there's a lot of advertisement everywhere that like cities are like the best here in Utah County. And like Provo, #1 city since like forever ago. And like everybody's safe, everybody's not, you know, it's just like people tired of other places just come here. And people that live here that are selling their house believe that as well. And so they're asking for the money. I think.
Okay.
We're also affected by people being able to work from their home.
Sure.
I mean, out of town people can come here that couldn't come here before.
Absolutely.
They can work wherever they can.
Yeah.
We need them to remind FHA that your values keep going up because they haven't adjusted FHA loan limits for Utah County. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. Yeah. All right, guys, there's going to be a massive wall of text on this, so just be aware. Underneath here is a whole bunch of stats, and I'm going to give away some gift cards right now. For anybody who can guess which county had the highest gain in sales price percentage year over year. Tooele?
Utah County, you
Salt
just
Lake,
said it.
Utah.
Weber,
Weber, Juab, Sanpete,
Washington.
Wasatch, Washington. Okay, what was Utah County's gain loss? What do you think the percentage was? How much did Utah County gain year over year from last year to this year in sales price or lose?
2.6.
7%.
Okay. How about Salt Lake County?
0.3. 4%. 6, 7.
6, 7. Okay. How about overall in the state? What was the total state's year over year gain or loss?
4.635.
It was actually 4.636, but you were close. Okay, this is going to be honor system, so you guys are going to have to tell me who got the closest, okay? Here's your wall of text. If you can read that from wherever you're sitting, let me know. Here's the highest. The highest percent gained was 22% year over year, and it was Summit County. What's in Summit County? Park City, okay? Second highest was Daggett County. Here's the issue with Daggett County. Last year they had 15 sales. This year they had 9. All right. So And then the third highest, and I'll give this one to Barb because she guessed Wasatch County. Wasatch County, where's that? Heber Midway, right? So what does that tell you? Park City, Heber Midway with the biggest gains year over year. What kind of properties are selling?
Second home.
Multi-recreational, high-end homes, right? Those are the ones that are currently selling. Okay, let's look at Utah County. Utah County year over year, no change,
Wow.
right? The actual change was $1,100 difference, right? No change. Was anybody close to that? Anybody guess that? All right. Let's look at Salt Lake County, 1.9% year over year. Okay. So went up 1.9. Anybody closer than 2.3? Okay, Ron, you're the winner.
You get a drink.
All right, and year over year, 2%. So 2% gain year over year for the entire state. We saw a 2% increase in purchase price. If you look at everything across the board, 2%. And like I said, we're at 510,000 for our average price. Okay. Was anybody close to that?
4.635.
4.635. 2. Yeah, I'm not back to her. Thank you. All right. And total number of sales, just so that you know, total number of homes, we were at 31.7 and we went up to 32.4. So we just gained about 2.3% of sales year over year. Okay. All right. That's the end of stats. Just a couple things and I'll get you back to your Jersey mics. First of all, compliance changes. We talked about this last month. Lead-based paint, if you're a listing agent, you must upload that pamphlet with your listing. Make sure if you've got a house prior to 1978, you upload it. I just did a nice little audit of all the files in our office in Orem only. 78% of our office listings don't have that pamphlet. Okay, so make sure. I think the agent on most of those is wrong. So this is what it should look like. Here's an example. It should have your lead-based paint disclosure and your lead-based paint pamphlet. Or if you want to combine these two into one PDF and upload that, that's fine. But it does have to have both of those on there. And then make sure that you're putting in the remarks something to the regards of it. You have to deliver this and we have to have the disclosure before you make an offer with your offer. Okay, make sure that you're putting that in there. Also, I just got word, and it's not in these slides, that the changes on IntelliAgent are now live. So the ones that I talked about last month, you should see those on any new transactions that you put in with requiring a PR when you first list. Okay, and the other changes that I talked about. Two last things. One is check your mail on the way out. There's a black file cabinet over here. Make sure and check your mail and take it with you. Telling you at the end so that you don't have to remember for more than like 12 seconds. And that's it. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. Go get some Jersey mics. Make sure and tell Adam thank you. And then talk to Gloria and Aram about all the questions you have. Thanks for being here.